Kathmandu, capital of Nepal, where I was born, is usually known for its frenetic activities. The city, which never sleeps, is looking very different right now. From deserted streets and landmarks to little to no ridership is what life looks right now. Around 985,000 residents are hiding away in the fear of an invisible enemy. In Nepal, the COVID-19 lockdown was sudden, severe, and absolute. Nepal's Prime Minister Sharma plunged around 30 million people into confinement with only 12 hours of notice.
यस महामारी विरुद्ध लकडाउन अपरिहार्य कदम हो भन्ने तपाईं हामी सबैलाई थाहा छ.
Across the country, many of migrant workers suddenly found themselves without jobs and unable to return to their village during this pandemic situation. Just an hour after the lockdown was announced, a number of migrant workers across Nepal began streaming out of capital by foot, as the means to earn a living was nearly stopped. When the public transports were shut down entirely throughout the country, they were determined to return back to their village in any possible way they could.
लकडाउन भएपछि हाम्रो अरू त केही नै त्यो काम बन्द भयो. अब रासन किनेर खानुपर्ने, कोठा भाडा तिर्नुपर्ने.
On a good day, he would make up to $5 to $6, but now he can't leave his place.
पैसा बारी तरकारी किनेर ल्याउने, सब्जी किनेर ल्याउने, के पैसा बारी किनेर ल्याउने.
And things are getting desperate.
हामी डेरा लिएर बसेको अथवा घरमा बसेको अब खाने पनि अब सकिएको हामीलाई के गरेर खाने हो.
We may get sick, but before that, we will die of hunger. And this is not just a problem of an individual or a few families. Several number of people were unemployed due to the pandemic situation, which gradually led to no money and shortage of basic food supplies in their houses. Well, the only solution was to join long queue for the food provided by some local organizations, which was hardly enough for everyone. After a few weeks passed during lockdown, government decides to rescue those facing extreme difficulties with coordination of state and local levels. The people's representatives became active to facilitate the transportation to the people of respective area. In the crowds, there were many newborn and adults getting hurried to catch the bus. Those with low income and losing jobs had no option but to leave the Kathmandu valley. After 2 months of lockdown, Nepal government starts rescuing plans for migrant workers and students around the globe. The first phase, the government rescued 195 Nepalese residing in Myanmar and United Arab Emirates through 2 international flights. All those rescued were sent to 9 different holding centers in 3 districts of Kathmandu Valley set up by the government for the prevention, control and response to corona epidemic before sending them to their hometowns. After a few days, a group of locals from valley started opening the stores in response of government's directive to pay taxes without relaxing lockdown. which led to dispute with police officers who forced to shut stores and stick to lockdown rules. After a few days, a group of local activists, traders, gathered in front of Prime Minister's residence demanding to improve quarantine conditions and make wider use of PCR tests instead of being focused on RDT, and also to come up with alternative to the blanket lockdown imposed on the entire country since March 24. Later, they were employed by water cannons and batons to disperse the protesters. However, KP Sharma Oli's government has been criticized since a long time for its response to COVID-19 pandemic. Despite over 2 months lockdown, coronavirus infection and deaths continue to increase across the country with no sign of improvement.